Well, it's the next day. We got a little bit of rain up here at the off-grid property. Not as much as they're calling for yet anyways. It's still rain in the forecast. But I want to get up here and get the track put back on the mini excavator. I have all the tools now that I think we're going to need to fix it. So we're going to have to get this plate off. And in here is our greasable tensioner for the track. Got some of the leftover Crete heat foam. Now make a good kneeling pad. In here, there is a piston that tensions the track, or a tensioner, I guess you'd want to call it, that tensions the track. You put grease in it, you can see the red grease in there, and that's what helps tension and keep the track tight. So I'm hoping that I can roll this back on because it hasn't come all the way off, and then I'll put more grease in there because I am assuming it's a little loose, and that's why the track fell off. We ran over a rock and it must have had a little dip in it. It was able to start coming off. If you guys didn't watch our last video, I was working on backfilling our trench we dug here for our conduit going from our solar array to our off-grid house up over there, and my track decided it wanted to pop off. So I'm thinking, in theory, where this track is not off all the way, if I went this way with the track, it would continue to fall off that sprocket or idler. If I go this way, it should put it back on. The worst part is I really can't see out of the window down here that well to see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna try rotating the track up and see if it starts to go back on. You guys are gonna have a bird's eye view. I'm not, so if it starts to fall off, holler at me. I can hear it cracking and a popping from the cab. We're getting it. Look, it's starting to go back on. All right, do that a couple more times and we should have it. I heard a loud pop in the cab. Yep, it went back on. Look at that. Good to go. All right, let's get some more grease in that cylinder. I have to thank my father-in-law for that one. I called him up and said, hey, this is what I did. What's the best recommendation? And he said, if the track's not all the way off, you can just lift up one side and try to roll it the opposite direction for it to come back on. And I never even thought about that. I knew there was the grease fitting. I thought I was gonna have to take that grease fitting all apart, push the idler arm in, and then get the track on with pry bars. So I brought all my pry bars today, but I didn't even think of rolling it back on. So I'm glad I stopped the excavator when I noticed it was falling off, because if I would have kept going, it would have came off completely. And it would have been more of a project to get the track back on. So I'm glad I stopped, called my father-in-law, and he told me, hey, do this, and it worked perfect. Now I just gotta get my grease gun. So the moral of the story is, if you don't know the answer to something, stop and ask somebody. It can save you a headache in the long run. Hopefully we can get this area right here finished, cleaned up, before the rain comes, because it's not looking too promising. But I'm just glad we get the track back on. I don't know if you can see the slack coming out of the track, but as I pump, it takes up some of the slack. All right. While I'm right here, I'm gonna go ahead and grease the rest of the machine. I know I see in the comments a lot, "Oh, you don't grease your machine." I do, just don't show it on camera because it's not the most exciting thing to do. Yes, I normally grease the machine. No, I normally don't grease those tensioners. So you guys got a glimpse of me greasing the machine. You probably won't see that again just because I don't find it anything too exciting to show. So, but I will say what I need to get is a battery operated grease gun because I don't enjoy greasing. I don't know too many people who do. Perfect timing. It's starting to rain out now. We're done with the excavator for right now. The video is not over. I am just ending it here for me today because the rain's coming down. And I'm letting you know because I'm gonna have different clothes on in a minute, but we're gonna be back here to do some more excavation work, but that's on a different project going on over here. That water level is up at least a foot, if not more. Holy smokes. It was coming down good overnight, and now I can see we'd really got just a wee bit of rain overnight. Yeah. I am glad it's not snow, because if it was snow, it would have been well over a foot of snow, and we don't need that right now. So even though I don't want the rain right now, I'll take that over the snow. It's looking good where we compacted the trench in. Everything's looking nice and compacted. Yeah, that's the word we'll use. I'm not seeing any sinkholes or anything. I'm glad we got the excavator fixed because we're gonna need that today. Today we're gonna be working on the area where we're placing our outdoor boiler. Yes, we are getting an outdoor boiler here for the off-grid property. I'm not gonna tell you which one we got yet until it shows up. It got delivered to the dealer 2 days ago now, so now we're just waiting on the dealer to have a window where he can bring it up here, and then we'll set it in place. For now, we're gonna set the outdoor boiler down in this area. It's not gonna be the permanent home. The permanent home I want for it is more up there, and I wanna build a wood shed around it and kind of put the outdoor boiler in it. I'm not 100% sure of where I'm gonna want the location of that yet for a couple of reasons. One of them is we're not 100% set on the house design yet, so I don't know where we're gonna be walking in and out of the house, and if we're gonna have a door, where the door is gonna be. I wanna have the outdoor boiler in an area that is easily accessed. I also wanna make sure the outdoor boiler is in an area where that the dominant wind is gonna blow all the smoke away from our structures and where we're mainly gonna be. It shouldn't smoke much because it is a high efficiency one, but during startup and different things, it is gonna smoke, so we just want to make sure that that's in an area where it's going to get blown away from us and not to where we're always going to be. So no matter what, I'm gonna have to move it. And if I set it back in this area for this winter, I'm gonna have to shovel or plow a path up to it. So I am thinking make an area in line with the driveway, and then I'll set the wood boiler back a little bit. This way, when it comes time to put wood into it, it's right here. We're not trekking all over the homestead, and we don't have to shovel a path to it. I can just plow in front of it with my pickup truck, and we'll have easy access to it. And then we're gonna have to move it in the future. I know moving it in the future is not the best ideal thing to have to do, because you gotta move it, spend the time resetting it, replumbing it. Also, every time it rains, being on a hillside, water washes down this way, and then it washes down, it goes behind the tiny house. I wanna make a berm from like where that rock is right there, over this way down, and then we'll put the berm in front of where the boiler is gonna be, and we'll taper it this way. So any of this water has to flow and go this way and run over that way, and not towards the tiny house or down over the boiler. I wanna make it so we don't get washed out, and we're not having ice piled up in front of everything. And then we're not having mud. We're gonna go 12 feet by 12 feet. This will give us more than enough room for the boiler. And it'll give us a little bit of room around it to stack firewood around it if we need to. And then it'll just give us room to work around it and walk around it. And then later on, it won't be a big area that we gotta do something else with. I'm hoping to have this base area all leveled off and a nice pad here ready for the outdoor boiler when it shows up. So let's get started. Surprise, we're hitting a lot of rocks. We'll get it though. Never give up. There's always a way. Probably explain a little bit better why I'm digging out this material and putting gravel in. We have really clayey soil here, so if I don't take out the clay, anytime it rains or we go from spring to winter to fall and just all the weather changing from the heat of the outdoor boiler melting all the snow, it's gonna be really muddy if I don't take this out and put gravel in. And I don't want to be tracking mud into the tiny house. This might be here. I don't know how long it'll end up staying in this spot for, so I want to make sure that it's got a good base to sit on and we're not always tracking mud in and out when we're over here feeding the outdoor wood boiler. I knew it was going to be muddy up there where we just got the tractor stuck, but I didn't think it was going to be that muddy. Man, that rain we got just has been making a mess lately. I was hoping to get a little bit nicer down here, but with all the rain we got, that's not going to happen. But it's going to work. We'll have to come back later on and dress up the backside. Want to have a nice taper, and I'll compact it so when we get rain coming down the hill, it doesn't rush down this way. I will have to gently hit all of the berm and then roll that way. So we need to fill in now with some gravel and get everything leveled off. Alright, we got that little bit compacted. I only put about 2 to 4 inches down at first. I knew it was going to be a mucky mess, so I wanted to just add a little bit, compact it, and then we'll just keep adding some more layers, compact it as we go. And once that all dries out, that should make a nice compacted base.
It's really cold. It's really not that cold temperature-wise. It is cold windy-wise. It is a raw wind. My nose is running. My eyes are running. So I'm just going to sit in here a little bit.
It's nice and windy out here.
Thanks.
We're getting there. A little less muddy.
A little less.
I can't get over how soupy this gravel is today. That's how much rain we got. So I'm gonna go over the area that's really soupy that I couldn't compact and drive over it back and forth and pack it down with the tracks of the mini excavator. That way it'll help pack it down, squish the water out, and then we're gonna have to call, sorry about that. Then we're gonna have to call it quits for this project today. It's really windy, so I'm hoping that it's gonna help dry it out. Tomorrow we'll come back, compact everything, give it a final grade. did a little bit more compacting this morning. It's not dry, but it's not muddy like it was yesterday. It's dried out a little bit. It's 32 degrees out this morning. That's a sure sign that winter is coming, and we need to make sure we have heat here at the tiny house. So it's one of the reasons why, even though it's muddy and yucky, we're still pushing through and working, because we're not going to be getting any better weather soon. So we need to get this project done so we can make sure we have heat this winter at the tiny house, because it would not be fun if we didn't. You wouldn't enjoy it.
No.
Neither would I.
We're lucky that we've had good weather in this time.
Yeah, this has been extended warm weather for this time of the year for us. I want to mark the layout where the outdoor boiler is going to go, and we're going to put some concrete pads down. So that way we have a concrete base for the outdoor boiler feet to sit on. We don't want them just sitting in the gravel. We're going to mark that out, and then we'll get that all leveled off nicely nice. Did that yesterday. Like this.
Yeah.
So 62. This way.
Put some little wider mesh inside of.
that's as many rows as I was going to do in the front, but I'm thinking I might want to do one more row, or either that, get some finer packed stone to put in the front. Now we got to figure out the length that we're going to need for our insulated pipe running from our outdoor boiler to the tiny house. So "36" is like that. So if we go 40. I back dragged the driveway. I really want to compact it today, but I know it's still too wet. It's going to make more of a mess if I try compacting it right now. So I'll let it dry. We're supposed to have some nice weather for the next few days. So I'll compact it once it dries up some.
Looks good.
Yeah, it looks nice right now.
It'll look real nice when you compact.
Yeah. So we have a couple of deliveries coming this week. We got our solar panels showing up tomorrow. And then, I don't know if it's going to be tomorrow or the next day, the outdoor boiler is going to be getting delivered. And then shortly after that, Ken's going to be showing up. And we're going to start putting up the tiny house, and that's going to go quick. So it's all starting to come together now.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yes.
All stuff we've been waiting for, and it's all happening now.
Yep.
It feels really good.
We haven't had a snow yet, which is even better. It's November, and normally we have a snow by Gina's birthday, which is beginning of October, and we didn't get one this year. So I'm happy about that. If we can have the snow hold off until we get the tiny house up and framed and then the grates put on the roof, I'll be happy. I don't know if it's gonna wait till then, but if it does, it'd be really nice.
hear some snow in the forecast.
Shh. We don't want to hear that word yet. A bit of advice, don't use a plate compactor in the mud. It's not any fun. I wrenched my back, and I want to say it's from wrestling the plate compactor in the mud and it got stuck. We didn't get it on video, but one time it got stuck really good and I had to use the tractor bucket to dig it out. So next time I won't be using the plate compactor in the mud. Hopefully my back will feel better in a couple of days. We're gonna find out. We get the delivery coming tomorrow for the solar panels. This is the next day after I got done editing, and the outdoor boiler is coming, but it's not coming the following day. It's gonna be here in 2 more days. So it was a little bit of a delay there, them trying to get some of the supplies we need for installing the outdoor boiler. We got some of the accessories to go with the outdoor boiler from the dealer, and he had to order them in, and shipping, guys, it's just taking a little while longer to get everything nowadays. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey. If you guys liked the video, give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. We were almost at 300,000 subscribers. That is just bonkers, guys. 300,000 subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. We'll see you guys right back here in the next video. Bye.